Hello, what is going on, guys? Today we've got our first Jurassic World Chaos Theory set we're looking at today. This is the Jurassic World Chaos Theory Darius Adventure Pack here. This is a Target exclusive in the United States, and I believe it retailed for $34. Included, you get a Dimorphodon, which is a new sculpt, a repaint of the Jurassic World Dominion Carnotaurus, and then a repaint of the Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom Stygimoloch. And then you get a brand new Darius figure with his weapon. Now there is another version of Darius releasing later on, but that is a different figure as it has a jacket, which is this figure right there. Yeah, this is new for Jurassic World Chaos Theory, the new Jurassic World cartoon streaming on Netflix right now. I've already binged the show and finished it. It was fine. I wasn't overly impressed with the first season. It was better than Camp Cretaceous Season 4 and Season 5, and I'd argue Camp Cretaceous Season 2. But it's gonna need a couple more seasons in order for it to really be something special. It was definitely good, and I enjoyed parts of it, but there was other parts I was kind of like, what am I watching? But it's the action figures I really care for, and I love that we're getting a whole new plethora of human figures, and these kind of repacks are a good way to get new variants of these characters. And it's nice because the problem with the Camp Cretaceous toy line is they just repacked Darius in a bunch of sets, and probably a bad example because Darius is in this set. But so far, every Chaos Theory set that's been revealed, either the $15 story packs or these larger sets, all have an exclusive figure in them. They're not just a repack of the same figure. You might get the same character, like there is 2 versions of Darius, 2 versions of Kenji so far, but they differ between the 2 figures because they'll either have a jacket or something, which I like. But yeah, taking a look at the box, this is new packaging for the channel. Honestly, the logo is my favorite part of Chaos Theory. It's a very cool kind of spray paint motif. You've got the Allosaurus here. You got Darius, Jurassic World Chaos Theory, Darius Adventure Pack, and then you've got the Jurassic World logo. Obviously, if you haven't picked up on it, there might be spoilers for Chaos Theory, so if you have not finished the series and you care about spoilers, I would click off because I will be discussing things about the show that pertain to this set. This is the Darius Adventure Pack, though. On the side of the box, you've got Chaos Theory. Same deal on the other side, Chaos Theory. The back of the box shows off the entire set. You've got the Dimorphodon, Stygimoloch, Darius, and Carnotaurus, and it comes with a net launcher, which is pretty cool. And yeah, it's cool to have a version of Darius without his jacket, because that is something we wanted since Camp Cretaceous, is a version of Darius without his yellow jacket. And we now finally have that. It would have been nice to get the Camp Cretaceous version, because he wears the jacket in Camp Cretaceous for all of 2 episodes, maybe? And then he's got his white shirt the rest of the show, and we never got that. But, you know, enough yammering and yapping from me. We're going to go ahead and get this box out of the box. So here's everything out of the box, and for $34, I don't feel ripped off. Some of these sets, you do feel a little ripped off. This is a pretty neat set, though. Darius is obviously the highlight of the set for me, and we're going to take a look at him last. So we're going to go ahead and move Darius and his gun over here. This Dimorphodon's a new sculpt, so we'll go over that second to last. So we'll start probably with Stiggy here. Stygimoloch does appear in Season 1 of Jurassic World Chaos Theory. There is quite a Styggy-oriented episode, I believe, episode 5, in which there is some Stygimolochs. Yeah, I'm trying to not be super spoiler heavy, but there is Stiggy that does appear in that episode. There is one that does match this kind of color scheme, and this is not the only Stygimoloch that appears in the toy line. There is also going to be a Stygimoloch with the Kenji story pack that has him medically assist a Stygimoloch. That did not happen in Season 1 of the show. And actually, Darius does not interact with a Stygimoloch in Season 1 of the show. So, that set might correlate to later seasons of the show. But there is a Stygimoloch that does match these colors in the show, which is, you know, pretty neat. It's a repaint of the Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom Stygimoloch. I'll bring that in a second. But that's not a figure I've looked at on the channel before. So this is a new figure for the channel. And Stiggy does look pretty cool. You've got the nice painted dome here. And the beak is painted gray and the spikes are painted gray. A recent-ish paleontological paper has come out questioning the classification of Stygimoloch as a dinosaur of its own, as its own species. The most recent paper I've read classifies Stygimoloch as just a juvenile Pachycephalosaurus. So, oops. It's questionable. It's, you know, stuff right now. This is a toy though, so we don't really need to get into that. Painted eye. Good job, Mattel. If you cannot tell, the eye is actually a different color than the brown paint. However, there is no pupil, so it does look a little soulless, and yeah. But the gray and brown looks pretty good. A lot of paint on this guy for what it is. The brown continues out, and then it cuts off at the tail, and then the legs and arms are completely unpainted. As far as articulation goes on this Stygimoloch, the arms will move back and forth. The legs will move back and forth. The tail does have a swivel, and the head is on a ball joint, so it can move side to side and up and down, so you can get it to do that ramming kind of action. Yeah, it's a Stygimoloch. It does feature a scan code. Lifting it up right here reveals your scan code for Jurassic World Facts. I don't know if the app is updated to include these new Chaos Theory toys. Last time I checked it was not, but it might be now that the show's out. So Stiggy here. I'm going to go ahead and grab the Fallen Kingdom Stiggy I own. So here is my Fallen Kingdom Stiggy, and this new one is substantially larger than my original Fallen Kingdom Stygimoloch. So they might have, at one point, modified the size on the Stygimoloch. I never picked up, and this is my only Stiggy until this one. This is my only Stiggy. I don't have that black one from Camp Cretaceous, but look at how much paint is on this figure. Like, they used to spoil us. Look at this. Back during Fallen Kingdom? Yeah. Those were the days. We took it for granted. This Stiggy came in a story pack with a mercenary. The story packs are kind of rare. The only one I'm missing as far as Fallen Kingdom is the Owen one. I have the Claire and the mercenary one. And this Stygimoloch is a really cool piece, and it does have a cool action feature where you press down on the tail, and the head will ram. Next to this Stiggy, though, they look pretty cool, and it'll be cool to get that third Stygimoloch for Chaos Theory that will really round out my Stygimoloch pack. There's a Stiggy in the show that looks like this one, and then there's one that looks like this one. And I'm sure if I was to look up the picture of the Kenji Stygimoloch, there would be one from the show that looks like it. I stayed up till like 2 in the morning watching the show, so in one sitting, and I have not rewatched it. So I might be wrong, but I do feel like there's a Stiggy that matches this appearance in Chaos Theory. Next up, we have the Carnotaurus. Now, this is a repaint of the Jurassic World Dominion Carnotaurus, as it is missing the horn here. Pretty good reuse, other than the missing horn. There is not a Carnotaurus in Chaos Theory that is missing a horn. There is actually a green Carnotaurus in Chaos Theory that's a neat reference to the Lost World novel, which that would be a cool figure to get. Didn't see Toro at all in the show, and the Carnotaurus, I believe, was only in the final episode. But, this looks pretty good. It matches the Fallen Kingdom Carnotaurus pretty well. No Carnotaurus is going to be impressive to me after getting the Hammond Collection Carnotaurus. That figure is just perfect. We have looked at this sculpt on the channel before, but that was years ago. So, we'll look at it again. The head sculpt's pretty nice. Painted pupil, chipped horn, all that. There's a lot of paint on this guy. They definitely had more of a budget for Chaos Theory than their standard lines, and you can tell because this figure has toe paint. And overall, it's got a lot of paint for what it is. As far as articulation goes, it'll move up and down the head, and it'll also rotate. The jaw will chomp, and it will open pretty wide, which is nice. The arms will move back and forth as well as out, which, you know, is kind of pointless because it's Carnotaurus. It's got like vestigial arms, but, you know, whatever. The legs will move out as well as back and forth, and the tail will swivel. It's the same Carnotaurus we got in that one Owen Motorcycle Pursuit, which I will grab right now. So here is the Dominion Carnotaurus. It's the black, kind of darker demon colors. I've always kind of loved this Carnotaurus just because of how unique the colors are. A lot of our Carnos look like this, very consistently this color. This is our only kind of unique one. Hopefully we'll get that green Carnotaurus at some point. I would really like that. And yeah, as you can see, they are the same. Surprisingly, the Chaos Theory one has more paint than the Dominion one. I don't know what was going on during Dominion. As for a film year, the figures kind of were lacking. But that might have been because of the pandemic and all that. So, yeah, the Carnos look pretty neat next to each other. It's cool to have two of this smaller sized Carnotaurus. As far as the scan code is concerned, you can pull it up from the back of the figure and turn it around. Bada bing, bada boom, your Jurassic World Facts app scan code. Don't know if the app is updated. So there's our Carno. Next up, we've got the Dimorphodon. Dimorphodon also only appears in the final episode alongside Carnotaurus. It might have been in the penultimate episode, episode 9. I don't remember. I do remember a Dimorphodon, though. They didn't really do much. They were in a cage. Maybe they'll have a more prevalent role, but you might not be able to tell off rip, but this is a new sculpt for the Dimorphodon. It is much bigger than the original Fallen Kingdom sculpt that we've had a while, and it is cool to get a new Dimorphodon sculpt, and this figure is honestly really impressive. Just taking a look at it, you've got that printed eye there. It looks really good. You got nice painted teeth. The arms will look nice and painted. They're unpainted at the top, but they got the nice pycno fibers, all that good stuff, and the tail is nice and bendy. This is a good Dimorphodon. Honestly, you'd make a good base for a Hammond Collection Dimorphodon if we ever get one. I know they made one for Amber Collection. But yeah, this Dimorphodon looks really neat. As far as articulation is concerned, the jaw will close and open. It will move up and down the head, and it also will swivel, which is a new thing for the Dimorphodon. The wings will move up and down as well as rotate, so you can get it to do a lot of cool poses. You can get it to fly, you can get it to be on its legs. I kind of like this kind of pose where it's getting ready to take off. It looks kind of angry, but you could, if you really wanted to, also get it down in that kind of walking position and it looking kind of angry. I like it like this though. And the legs do articulate, they move together though. And the tail does not swivel, but it is bendy. And it's a pretty neat Dimorphodon. Let me grab the Dominion Fallen Kingdom one. This is also my only Dimorphodon in my collection. I do have the Amber Collection ones, but those don't really count. As often as this figure's been released, I've passed up on it a bunch of times. I only have that initial Fallen Kingdom version. And yeah, you can tell they're kind of cut from the same cloth, but this one is much smaller and overall is much less bold looking. It does have more paint though. I will give it that. So yeah, that's the Dimorphodon. Now to move on to the thing I bought the set for. Here is Darius, and he is missing his jacket in this appearance, which I do like. He does wear his jacket most of the show, however he does take it off at one point, and we do get to see this look of Darius, and he comes with a net launcher. This net launcher was featured in the first episode of Chaos Theory, which is neat that we're getting this accessory. Getting Darius to hold it is probably going to make him very top heavy, but we will try. Taking a look at Darius though, looks like the animated character. The head sculpt's nice painted face. You can see it picks up better on camera than in person. He's got freckles, which is cool. Moving down his body, he's got his arms here. He's got, you know, definitely looks like this figure could have a jacket overlay, which is, it's probably literally a jacket overlay, and then his arms will be painted. We'll have different arms for the other release. I'll throw up pictures of it. His legs look nice. He's got his, you know, your standard human figure articulation. He's going to be a little bit shorter than your average human figure because he is, you know, a young adult. He's in Chaos Theory. But, you know, he's got all your standard Mattel human figure articulation. Sometimes the smaller, like, children figures will have less articulation. That is not the case with Darius because he's a fully grown man in the show. And he does come with this net launcher. A new weapon for Jurassic. Let's take our Carno here. The net launcher is pretty nice. It looks like the one from the show. And you press the button, and it'll shoot the net. It's just kind of like a missile. You know, probably the closest thing they could do to get that net launcher. I'm sure it's going to make Darius extremely top heavy. I will try my best to get it in his hands. Yeah, he's going to be very top heavy. You can probably pose him like this with it on your shelf. The net pointed down. It'd be cool if you could have it kind of in a more active pose, but you more than likely need a stand for that. Otherwise he's going to topple over. As far as Darius is concerned, I'm going to grab the original Darius figure and then a more adult-sized figure to compare to. So here's Darius with his younger counterpart from Camp Cretaceous. Still a great figure for what it is. You can tell they're the same guy. It would have been nice to one day have gotten that removable jacket and white arms, short sleeves for Darius, but it definitely does make him pop a bit more on the shelf. And he's got a bunch of accessories from his several different releases. I've just kind of amalgamized my Darius pieces here. Darius appeared in a lot of sets, which makes sense, he's the main character. But yeah, there's Darius next to Darius. Here is Darius next to the Lost World Ian Malcolm. Malcolm is not too much taller than Darius, but you can see he's significantly taller than Child Darius. So yeah, the young adult Darius is definitely shorter, and all of the Chaos Theory characters are going to be a bit shorter than the regular adult-sized figures, but they don't look bad. Overall, I quite like this set. For what you pay, you get your money's worth. And for our first Chaos Theory set I'm reviewing, I am fairly impressed. If you find it, I definitely recommend the pickup. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. That's kind of my overall ranking for the show. It's okay, inoffensive, and not bad. Darius is the highlight for me, but honestly, none of these pieces are bad. So that's my thoughts. Hope you guys have enjoyed. I'll see you guys in another video. Take it easy.